What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham. Welcome back to the top 50 albums of all time, according to me. Now, my criteria here is what I enjoy and what impacted me the most, and what I think is the best. There are going to be some disagreements, but that's what the comments are for. We're going with 35 to 31. Number 35 is, I think, the newest album on one of the newest albums on the top 50, and it's Harry Styles, Harry's House. I didn't know Harry was like this. Didn't know. Late to the party, because I listened to his previous album, and it's amazing too. But this one, my jaw literally dropped when I heard the very first song on this track. It's called Music for a Sushi Restaurant. And I just saw that the big mega superstar Harry Styles released an album, and I'm like, I wonder, out of curiosity, what a big mega pop star sounds like today is for like a new album release. And I hit play on the first track. Holy crap, the soul and funk into these horn parts. I'd love to play it for you. You're going to have to go on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube or wherever you go yourself and do it, because I am incapable of showing you what the heck happens in this first song on this track. It is mind-blowing. Again, my jaw literally went downward, dropped. Late Night Talking is a really fun one. That one's like, if you're feeling down, I just want to make you happier, baby. 'Cause we've been doing all this late night talking about anything you wanted till the morning. Now you're in my life. I can't get you off my mind. That's groovy. The whole album, top to bottom. There's one skip for me. It's what's it called? Freaky, Late Night Freak, Late Freak, Freaky Girl. I don't know. I sound like an old person right now. The rest of the album, all of them are like this. And then there's a song called Matilda that is like acoustic guitar, vocal, break your heart, emotional, interesting. Talking about like this girl, like you don't have, like if you struggled with your family, like you don't have to mend that bridge if it's not good to. You don't have to do that. And it tackles some really deep, interesting, complex issues, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The biggest song, which we heard over and over again on the radio, was As It Was. That's the... And it's boppy and fun and big radio hit. But the chords, dude, make me want to sing this as if Frank Sinatra were to do this song. Holding me back. Gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. How about you leave it at that? Oh, in this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. As it was. As it was. Took a little liberty at the end, but it's there. It's there to be had. It sounds like a jazz song to me. Cinema feels awesome. It's my favorite feeling song. And when I say feel, I mean how the sound makes me feel, not like the content of the lyrics. Like Matilda would be that one for me. But feel good is Cinema for me. Number 34, Wolfpack, The Thrill of the Arts. I didn't know you could do this. There are some albums that I listen to, some artists that will hit me, and that's my actual response is I didn't know you could do that. They're like this. This is an instrumental band that has guest singers come on. That's what it feels like. Maybe there are actual members that sing, but it feels very much like an instrumental band that has these guest singers come in and sing. And the opening song is all you need to listen to understand what I'm saying. The production elements are so new and cool, unlike anything I've ever heard, to funk, soul, R&B, jazz, fusion sounding stuff, and feels so good and is so fun. Fun is a good adjective to use. It's a good description for the way they make music. And it's so impressive. Really exposed me to a higher level of musicianship than I even knew existed in the world. And I mean that. Welcome to Wolf Records is that first song I was talking about. I listen to this song and I feel like I am instantly in a movie, opening scene of a movie where this young, likable kid who's a go-getter is racing through New York City on a bike through traffic so that he can deliver this pizza on time. Listen to that song with that in mind, and you will have an entire cinematic experience inside your own head. Game Winner is a good one. It's very unique. Who has ever written a song that goes, fourth quarter, baby, I hit the game winner. It's not over, baby, I hit the game winner. Who has ever written a song about being clutch in the fourth quarter? That's literally what this is about. And it has like basketball hoop sounds and like nets and their percussion. It's really cool. My life, it was anything. Like there are more sections, but the gist of the song is what I just played, and it's cool. Christmas in LA is really fun. Everybody's on Christmas. Those are great songs. Theo Katzman almost made it on this top 50 list. Maybe he should have. I totally could have put him in. This very hard list to make, but he was right on the cusp. And he's a singer on here. He also has his own solo work that is fantastic. Number 33. All right, this is really tough, and I'm kind of cheating here. This is a very polarizing figure. That's not why it's tough. It's tough because he's so good, and there's so many albums. And going through this list, I didn't want to make, because I'm such a huge Beatles fan, I could have, like the top 10 albums, 4 of them could have been Beatle albums. 3 of them Stevie Wonder, and there's 7 out of 10. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm trying my best to only do 1 album per artist. Some have 2 because the 2 albums are so different, and a lot of them are like Maroon 5, for example. That one was more, the one that we talked about, Hands All Over, is more recent. Their original album, Songs About Jane, spoiler alert, is in here too, but it's much later. It's like 15 years apart. These 3 albums by this artist were done in a span of 4 or 5 years, and they are so unified to me. Now, a lot of people might disagree with that are big fans of this guy, but more recently, he like many genius people have gone a little off the rails. This is Kanye West. I have, for number 33, a 3-way tie with his first 3 albums. College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. Couldn't decide between the 3. They feel so much the same to me, in a good way. They feel like one big, beautiful, genius, brilliant project. I didn't know anything about Kanye West except his fame and his celebrity. And then when I was on tour with John Bellion, opening for him, that whole crew, and really, I feel like all hip-hop culture, they see Kanye West as like the Einstein with the theory of relativity, like the guy. Revolutionary. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I knew like some of the giant hits, but that was it. And so I was like, all right, how should I asked him, I was like, tell me about Kanye West and where should I start? And everybody's like, the beginning. You should start with College Dropout and go from there. So I was like, all right. So I started with College Dropout and just only listened to Kanye West for like 3 months because he's got so many albums. And they're so great. I could have put 2 more in this and made it like a 5-way tie. There are plenty of songs in his repertoire that I very much dislike content-wise. They're awful. Like, they're terrible. They are promoting things that will kill you. And I don't like that. That's not good. But the art in most of these, well, here's how I think. Okay, I've heard someone say, well, this is a very common thing to say in church about listening to rap or listening to secular music, was, well, if there's only a little bit of crap in there, a little bit of bad, would you eat a piece of pie that just had a little bit of poop in it? And you're like, no, I would never do that. But in my opinion, that analogy doesn't quite work, because I see Kanye West writing songs about the world that he observes. That's all we can ask any artist to do, period. I think his views via a lot of these songs are very skewed. A handful. There are a lot, and I'll get into some, that I adore the content and the message a lot. I would say more than half. But then there's 1 or 2 on every album that's like, oh, bro, get over it. Like, girls are not the answer. Girls are great. Sex is great. But it's not like that. Like, that's, no, that's not how it goes. But we have to accept people are going to make art based on how they see the world. And we can close ourselves off completely to it. Or we can go, okay, that's according to his view. I am the opposite. Let's start with College Dropout has Jesus Walks. That's one you could listen to. The brilliance behind his production is one of his major factors that make him so special to me. He has so many elements, but it feels so open and not cluttered at all. He has like a military sounding choir going bump, 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 ba-da-dum, dum, dum, like doing that over and over again. And then he's got this like it almost sounds like a kid's choir, but I don't think it is, going Jesus walks with me, like really loose and just, I don't know, matter of fact is the word I want to say. Then you've got this sample from an old spiritual. A sample is when you take a song that's already recorded and then you take that file and manipulate it to use in your own song, of this old, like, black woman singing her tail off. Sounds like this old spiritual singing, singing, I want Jesus, fill me, Lord. Like all these super soulful things. Maybe it wasn't a sample. Maybe someone came in the studio and did that, but it sounds like a sample. And then you have this vocoder flute sounding thing going ba ba da 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 da. It's like, what melody came? How? It's like, how did you think of this melody? It's gorgeous, and the chords behind it. You've got this choir of women singing, oh, all that together, and then his verses. It's brilliant. I'm telling you, it's brilliant. He's got skits throughout College Dropout and Late Registration that makes fun of college, and it's hilarious. He's like, first, College Dropout has a lot of skits, like 5 or 6 throughout, that the guy's like, hey, Kanye, can you make some music like for the kids? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then he starts the first song, and it's like, drug dealers gotta get by. And then the second skit is like, what are you doing? That's not what we wanted. So he has this sense of theater throughout the whole album. And then the second album, Late Registration, is a lot about like, yeah, I don't have any money, but I have degrees. And when I'm cold at night and I don't have any heat or air because I don't have any money, I'll have these degrees and they'll keep me warm because I'm smart. And really just leans into that satire, which I think is funny. I'm the dean of music at a college, Canada Christian College, and I agree with him. A lot of college, a lot of education is not worth what it's paid. That's why I'm a dean of music, so I can actually help make a degree plan that's worth the money and the time that you spend. So anyway, that's another platform. Gold Digger is on Late Registration. That's the Jamie Foxx is singing. She takes my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Well, she's a gold digger way over town. That's good to me. And then the song starts. Then it's a sample of She Gave Me Money When I'm in Need. That's a Ray Charles song. What song is that? I Got a Woman is the song. And it's actually about a wonderful woman, but he changes it where it's like about gold digging. But this is a great song. Lyrics are brilliant. Production is brilliant. The sampling is next level. No one's ever done anything quite like this before when he does it. Then there's Roses, which is from Late Registration and it's right up there for my favorite Kanye West song ever and makes Late Registration for me. The whole album's fantastic. This one really stands out to me. This is about his grandmother dying, and before she died, the struggle to help her and to make her well again. Here's some of the lyrics. He said, "Tell her everything gonna be fine, but I be lying. Her family crying. They want her to live, and she trying. I'm arguing like, what kind of doctor can we fly in? You know the best medicine, go to people that's paid. If Magic Johnson got a cure for AIDS and all the broke people passed away, you telling me if my grandma was in the NBA, right now she'd be okay? But since she was just a secretary, worked for the church for 35 years, things supposed to stop right here? My grandfather trying to pull it together. He's strong, but in the song it says he's strong. That's where I get my confidence from. I asked the nurse, did you do the research? She asked me, can you sign some t-shirts? Oh my gosh, dude. Rip my heart out. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that's in there. Plus, genius production. Revolutionary stuff that no one's ever done before at that time. That's what makes Kanye West great. And then another banger. This one's from Graduation, is Stronger. Work it, stronger, but don't kill me. It's really like electronic, sick beat, and the verses are pretty cool. And I memorized every word at one point. 32. This is our first movie score of the top 50. We have James Newton Howard, who's my favorite composer besides John Williams. And we have his score of I Am Legend. This movie was cool. The score, dude. Just listen to the first song and you'll get it. The first song, My Name is Robert Neville, is what it's called. It starts off with a trumpet, just a single trumpet, it feels like it's way out, like 100 yards away in a gymnasium. And I think it represents how Robert Neville, our character, Will Smith, is alone in this gigantic, empty but hectic cacophony of the apocalypse, of the post-apocalyptic world that he lives in with zombies. And then all of a sudden, you get this recording of a trumpet that feels very far away, very heavy reverb. And then you have all these strings come in so gentle and warm, and it feels like an embrace, and they're so close to the mic. They're so close, so dry. You can even hear the string players move collectively right before they start to play the strings, and it's almost feels like when someone like sits down on the bed next to you to comfort you. It is so cool. And there's this beautiful marriage and contrast of these two in this song. The Pier is really strong. It's a big triumphant moment, a turning point in the movie, bunch of trumpets and horns. And then I'm Listening is pretty much a piano version of My Name is Robert Neville, and it's gorgeous. It's kind of the theme song of the movie. Number 31, you have never heard before, I bet, unless you're a Groove Crew member and watched the first video I put out when I tried to make a top 20 that was not effective. Colin Edge, Hear Me Out. Colin Edge has 15 listeners on Spotify. Not 50, not 15. 1-5. I had somebody in college, Emily Christopher is her name, show me who this guy is, and I was obsessed. Whole album, no skips, top to bottom, freaking brilliant. He was, from what I hear, he was maybe still is, worship pastor in Texas, and he just made this album just because he wanted to. And the songs on this, top to bottom, the song I like the most is Everything. And it's the most wholesome love song ever. And it's like, when I tell you that I love you, I'm talking about forever, babe. I know that, baby, if it's special, there ain't no reason why it can't stay. Can't stay. 'Cause I ain't here to play around with your heart, starting something just to throw it away. Throw it away. 'Cause baby, if you love me and I love you, won't you give me a chance to make forever start today? Isn't that gorgeous? It's just the most wholesome love song ever. And by the way, a perfect model for how to date and how to go about things. Next 5 for next week, we have another movie score. We have the best Christmas album I've ever heard in my life. And it's newer in the past 10, 20 years. We have another band I bet you haven't heard of, but is undeniably good feeling. That's what I really want to say. It feels good. I don't care who you are. You listen to that with headphones. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel real good. I don't care what you like. Then we have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we have a hip hop singer, rapper who started off first as a drummer. That is, this kind of music he makes is brand new. It's just, I've never heard anyone ever do anything like this. And then we have another rap album. Didn't think you were getting a lot of rap, did you? But in this rap group, there is a designated singer. So there's a lot of great singing. And I fell in love with this album when I was a kid. So this was one that I had to like sneak. I thought I had to sneak, and then they found out and they didn't care. I thought I had to sneak it from my parents, so they didn't know. But beautiful stuff in there. Okay? See you guys then.